Let's go ahead and try a problem where we're dealing with two characters. Here we're going to be dealing with color vision, so either normal color vision or having color blindness. Remember, that's a sex-linked trait. And we will also combine that with the blood type, which is an autosomal trait. So let's look at this problem. So it gets a little bit more complicated. However, we will be able to work through and answer all of these questions on the left side. So we have a woman who has normal color vision. Okay, so remember, color vision is sex-linked, and it's a woman. She has two X chromosomes. And it says here, she carries the allele for color blindness. Okay, so one of her X chromosomes has the allele for color blindness. And then since she has normal vision, she must be having at least one X chromosome that has the normal allele. And remember, that is going to be dominant in this individual, right? Because it's a female. There's two X chromosomes. Now let's look at the rest of her genotype. She is also heterozygous for blood type A. Okay, so remember that's shown with a capital I, and she's A. And since she's a heterozygote, she also has the O allele, which is recessive. Now, she marries a man, so there's going to be a cross, and we're going to look at the prediction for their offspring. Now, the man has normal color vision. So remember, it's a man. He has an X chromosome and a Y chromosome, and that single X chromosome has the normal allele for color vision. And he is homozygous for type B blood. Okay, so that is going to be this genotype. All right. So let's go ahead and determine what the gametes will be for each of these individuals. Remember, you need to do FOIL. Okay, so foiling out, remember we have the first, and let's deal with the female first. Okay, so for first we have capital N on the X chromosome, and then we have the A-type blood, and then the outer again, and then we have the O-type blood, and then we have the affected X chromosome with the A-type blood and the affected X chromosome with the O-type blood. Okay, so we foiled her out. Now, the male is only going to have two possible gametes because, remember, he's hemizygous for the X chromosome and that gene for color blindness. However, he's homozygous for the blood type. So both of them are going to have the B-type blood. And one gamete, about half the gametes will have the X chromosome and half the gametes will have the Y chromosome. So when we put these all together and we fill out the Punnett square, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and just separate each of the characters. Okay, so that's an AB blood. And then we have a homozygous normal with B blood. And we have a carrier. So these are all the females here. Another carrier. Okay, now let's move on to the males. So this is normal male with AB blood. And then we have a normal male with B blood. Oops. And then we have a colorblind male with AB blood. And then we have a colorblind male with B-type blood. Okay, let's go ahead and answer all the questions. So the first one says, what is the probability that their first child will be colorblind and have type B blood? So the only ones that are colorblind are the two males here. Okay, so these are the ones that are going to be colorblind. Because remember, the females, they have two X chromosomes, and the only options here for the females are, and all the others, are either normal or carrier. So we have two males. Which ones have B? Okay, so here it says their first child, so really out of all of 8 of those, okay, only 1 out of the 8, or 1/8, will be colorblind and type B blood. Okay, now the second one says, what is the probability that their first child will have normal color vision and have type A blood? So if we look at all of these, it doesn't matter. So we have 6 of them that are going to have normal normal vision, right? However, none of them have type A blood, and there must be, both conditions must be met. Okay, so that's a 0. What is the probability that their first son will be colorblind and have type A blood? So if we look at the sons, none of them have type A blood. However, half of them will be colorblind. It does not matter in terms of color blindness. It only matters regarding the, at this point, that there are none that are going to have type A blood. Now, the next one says, what is the probability that their first son will have normal color vision and type B blood? So we have all the sons across the bottom, and the first 2 are the ones that are going to have normal vision, but only 1 out of those 2 are going to have type B blood. Okay, so out of the sons, remember there's 4 of them, okay, so 1 out of 4 are going to have type B blood and normal vision. Okay, so remember that "and" matters. And here we're just dealing with sons, right? So the next one says, what is the probability that their first daughter will have normal vision and have type B blood? All right, so all of the daughters are going to have normal vision, and I'm not asking whether they're carriers or not, so that does not matter. And half of them have type B blood. So we can see this one has type B, this one has type B. The other 2 have type AB blood. Okay, so out of the daughters, it's actually 2 out of 4, but you would say 1 out of 2. Okay, so 1/2 of them are going to be type B blood and also have normal vision. Now, what is the probability that their next child in general will be colorblind and have type AB blood? Okay, so only the sons will be colorblind. Okay, so if we look at the sons, 1 out of 8 have type, or have color blindness, and that individual also has AB blood, so it'll be 1 out of 8. All right, so that's a little bit more complicated of a problem, dealing with a sex-linked trait and an autosomal trait together.